Hello students, welcome to another video of English language. Today we are going to dive into the world of comics and graphic novels. Today we'll first focus on their introduction. What are comics and what are graphic novels? Now tell me one thing. What comes to your mind when you think of comics or graphic novels? Pictures? Short stories, yes. Okay, then another thing, what do you like more, comics or graphic novels? Okay, we have varied choices. Some like comics more and some like graphic novels more. Okay, now we'll start with comic books. The first thing that comes is comics range from standalone issues to serialized stories. There are many serials of these stories and they continue over multiple issues. And then they encompass a variety of genre like horror, fiction, science fiction, romance or maybe fantasy. Okay, then comics show a sequential narratives. They come in sequence, one after the other. We wait for the next sequence to come, the next serial. Okay, then they combine words and images. They showcase characters, dialogues and actions in sequence, one after the other. Few examples of comics are Astonishing X-Men. The book is God Loves, Man Kills. Another example is Justice League of America. There are few more examples like Dennis the Menace and Tinkle. Okay, now we'll talk about graphic novels. What are graphic novels? Graphic novels are book-length stories. They are longer than comics, told through images and text. We have both text and images, though text is more and images are less. They resemble novels, but they include visuals. Unlike comics, they are longer with complex narratives and a deeper character exploration. Then graphic novels tell us stories with both text and images. They consist of a sequence of illustrative panels that frequently have speech balloons, thought bubbles or text boxes containing dialogue. But they are lesser than the comics. Now let's look at a few examples. The Complete Moss by Art Spiegelman. And then Persepolis by Marion Satrapi. Now we'll do some comparison between the two, the comics and the graphic novels. Comics are sequential narratives presented through a series of illustrated panels, whereas graphic novels are book-length narratives told through a combination of images and text. And then we have more differences on various parameters: length and serialization, reading experience, target audience and content. Let's see all these three parameters in detail. If we talk of length and serialization, comic books are shorter serialized narratives and they are released periodically, that is weekly or monthly. Now graphic novels, they are self-contained long stories published as complete book and they have a beginning, middle and an end. And comic strips are very short, They consist of 2 to 4 frames only, and they are published daily in newspapers or magazines. Now the next parameter is reading experience. Comic books cross multiple issues, can be ongoing for years, whereas graphic novels, they provide complete story in one sitting and offer more focused reading experience. Comic strips deliver concise message, can be read in a minute, can be followed daily. The third parameter is target audience and content. Comic books are originally aimed at children and young adults. Content and themes matured over time. Superheroes became dominant genre. In graphic novels, they target wider audience, including adults. They cover a vast array of genre, historical fiction to fantasy and social commentary. Comic strips, they target a wider audience, deliver concise, humorous or thought-provoking messages. After knowing so much about comics and graphic novels, you would be curious about their origin, how they originated and where did they originate. Now let's see how they originated and the story of their evolution. In early ancient times, early pictorial narratives were made on cave walls. They were used to convey stories. In late 19th century, sequential art emerged in newspapers or magazines. And in early 20th century, there was popularity of comic strips featuring characters like Little Nemo in Slumberland and the Yellow Kid. These strips lay the foundation for the comic book industry. In 1930s, flourishing of comic book industry with the introduction of iconic superheroes like Superman, Batman and Wonder Woman. In 1960s, the term graphic novel emerges to describe longer form comic narratives. In 1970s to 1980s, works like Will Eisner's A Contract with God and Art Spiegelman's Moss elevate the medium to literary and artistic acclaim. Graphic novels pave the way for diverse storytelling possibilities. After getting so much information about comics and graphic novels, let's see some analogies about the comics, graphic novels and comic strips. The first is about comic books. Think of them like episodes of a TV show. Each issue is a chapter and you need to follow multiple issues to see the whole story. And then graphic novels, imagine them as complete mini series or full seasons of a TV show. You get the entire story in a defined format. The next is comic strips. Think of them as YouTube shorts or Instagram reels. They are also low in production costs. Now, let's see why do we read the comics and graphic novels. The first thing is engagement. Low graphic novels and comics captivate with visuals and they are ideal for reluctant readers. Pictures do captivate the readers. The next is accessibility. Comics and graphic novels appeal to all the readers because they are accessible to them easily. The next is complexity. Don't underestimate them. Comics often explore complex themes and stories. And now it's the time for your task. You have to discover your favorite comic or graphic novel. Now, after choosing the comic or graphic novel, It could be old, it could be recent. Then you have to summarize it, giving the title, author, illustrations and the main characters. You also have to share why you enjoy reading this. In that you must include storyline, art, characters or any other reasons that you want to share. That's all for today. See you in the next video. Till then, happy learning.